Oh boy, here we go. We're back today, February 5th, 2026. Yesterday, I did pretty well predicting the games, I might say. I'll explain why I think I did better than maybe I did. It doesn't we'll talk about it in a second. Um I liked yesterday's games, it went well. So today I'm going to change it up. I'm going to do every game. I'm going to give you my prediction for every game. I'll tell you if I like it more or like it less than other games, just so you guys know. But I wanted to switch it up and change it up a little bit. So today we're doing all NBA games. I'm excited. There's 8 games. It's going to get crazy. Let me do a recap first of yesterday's games. First game, there was Nuggets at Knicks. I had the Nuggets plus 4.5. I'm pretty sure the Knicks did win after second overtime, 134 to 127. I was incorrect about that game. The Knicks brought it close all game. They should have had it after the first overtime with a win, but they didn't. They went to the second overtime, which stinks because that gave the Knicks the opportunity to get ahead. But it was a close game. I was right. The Nuggets were staying close. Anyway, I then picked the Timberwolves to win, just the money line. They did win 128 to 126. Didn't look great the first half, but they came back and absolutely took the game by storm. They were up by a lot, and the Raptors actually came back. But hey, 2 points is great. I had the Bucks to win at home against the Pelicans, and they did. They did win, which is exciting after overtime. Um, Next game, I had the Celtics plus 5.5, and it ended up going to 7.5, which I commented on my last video. And they won by a lot at the Rockets. Celtics won by 114 to 93. I like the Celtics to win yesterday, but I didn't think it would be that crazy. After seeing some of the injuries from the Celtics and it going up, I was a little afraid that that bet was going to lose, and it actually came through, which is really exciting. Next game, the Thunder at Spurs. The Thunder played really well. They only lost by 10, and I'm not too mad at that because whatever last night, whenever I made the video, they were favorited. They were going to be the good team, and then SGA got hurt, and he's not playing to the All-Star game, so that immediately I commented when I saw it and told people to stay away from that game because that game looked hugely in this massively in the Spurs' favor whenever that happened. But I think they only lost by 10 points. If SGA is in that game, then they absolutely win that game. So I'm not too mad about that pick. I'm annoyed because I did lose it, but I did it as of right now, the very night of, but it's okay. Next game, we had Grizzlies at Kings. I had the Kings for the points, and I think they covered. I don't remember how many points it was. Grizzlies won by 4, and I think it was 6 points to cover. So I think they did cover, which is exciting. I can actually look at my phone real quickly, and I'll let you guys know. Oh, the Grizzlies were plus 2.5. Oh, maybe I picked the Grizzlies plus 2.5. I don't really remember that game. I'm pretty sure I picked. Doesn't matter. We're gonna move on to the next one. Cavs at Clippers. I told you guys the Cavs were gonna absolutely blow out the Clippers, and they did. 124 to 91. Absolutely a fantastic win. 33 points. It's great. I told you guys the Cavs were gonna go in and just blow up the Clippers, and the Clippers were gonna be defeated. I called that one. So 3 for 4 yesterday. The Thunder was a loss, but it was pretty close. So, but my picks were Timberwolves, which won, Celtics, which won, and the Cavs, which won, but the Thunder didn't, in fact, lose, which stinks. So I apologize for that. But today we got a whole new set of games. We got 8 picks. It's going to be hard to go 8 for 8, but we're going to definitely try. I like today's games. Couple games I have some over unders. Couple games I have some points. Couple games I have some money lines. So let's see how it goes. We have 8 games. We have Nets at Magic. We have Wizards at Pistons. We have Bulls at Raptors. Jazz at Hawks. Hornets at the Rockets. Spurs at Mavericks. Warriors at Suns. And 76ers at Lakers. Oh my goodness, that's a mouthful. I am really excited for these games and interested to see what you guys think. So let me know what you guys have picked in the comments, see what you guys think. But I'm going to give you my predictions for these games real quickly. So let's go into the first game. This first game here, we have the Brooklyn Nets at the Orlando Magic. I don't really like either one of these teams necessarily to win. Because the line's 10. The Orlando Magic aren't a great team, and the Nets are a really bad team. So at first I thought, let me take Nets for the points. But then I thought, well, the Nets recently have lost by many, many points. Over 17. This one's 53. They beat the Jazz by 10. They lost to the Nuggets only by 4. They lost to the Suns only by 4. They got blown out by the Clippers. They only lost to the Celtics by 4. They got blown out by the Knicks by 54. Suns beat them almost by 10. Bulls beat them by 22. They get beat pretty bad, and I don't think that the Magic last time they played, it was at the Nets, and the Nets are a better home team. The Nets only lost by 1, so I was thinking about that. But also looking at this, the Nets are 13 and 36. They're 6 and 18 at home and 7 and 18 away, and they're 1 and 9 on a 2-game loss streak. They have just been terrible recently. The Magic on the other hand are 25 and 24. They are 14 and 8 at home, 4 and 6 in the last 10 on a 2-game loss streak. Both teams just are not playing great. The Magic the past couple games just lost to the Thunder, lost to the Spurs. They beat the Raptors, they beat the Heat, but they lost to the Cavs twice, lost to the Hornets, lost to the Grizzlies, and the teams they're beating, Pacers, they beat the Nets by 1. Like I said, they beat the Pacers. They beat the Nuggets earlier in the year by barely by 1. This team isn't that great. Um, it's just, and also Wagner's out, Franz Wagner's out, which is their star, and I just don't think this team really can win. I mean, I like the Brooklyn plus points, but that's not my pick because I think the Nets really aren't that good of a team. They don't have anyone that really just shines out to me. Um, what I'm going to stick with this though is I'm going to go ahead and take the over 213.5. The reason is the line is really low in my opinion on that because if you look at the last couple games of the Magic, they scored 109, 77, 99, 103, 102, 89, 126, 66, 117, 102. And the times they're scoring low are the ones they're playing really good teams, the Pistons, the Lakers, the Celtics. Actually, they play good against the Celtics. The Nets really can play good, but they get blown out by like the Knicks. They got blown out by the Pistons, but besides that, they do play decent basketball. Not enough to win games, but enough to stay kind of close. So I like the Brooklyn Nets plus the 10.5, I think is what it was. But I'm not going to pick it because I know the Nets can really have cold games and they're on the road, and I just don't want to touch that. We keep the over also because the Orlando Magic's last couple games, they've scored 92, 103, 120, 124. But if you look at their games, all of the games they're playing are going over this. And when they play worse teams, they score more points. Like when they played the Pacers, those games went well over 120. When they played the Pelicans, that went well over 130. I mean, I really think, and then when also the Nets play worse teams like the Jazz, it went over this number. No, it didn't. It went 108, which isn't good. But a lot of the games that these two play go over 120. And I get both these teams aren't great, but I just don't see why these two teams don't go head to head and make it a close game and score probably I'm thinking 225 to 230 is my guess on the points. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with the over 213. My second pick would probably be Brooklyn plus the 10.5. I mean, I do like this number. I'm just afraid because I do know the Nets can really just play terrible. So I'd be careful playing. It's actually 11.5. I'd be careful playing the Nets. I guess it just went up. The Nets plus 11.5. But I do like the over here. So I'm going to take the over and leave it at that. Next game. Okay, for this next game, we have Washington at Detroit Pistons. Um, I don't think I really have too much to say about this game. Nothing, too crazy. The Pistons did, man, they're 37 and 12. They're 20 and 5 at home on a 3-game win streak. They're 8 and 2 in their last 10. The Washington Wizards they're 13 and 36. They're 4 and 19 away. They're 3 and 7 the last year on a 1-game loss streak. This team, no offense, is not very good. The Washington Wizards, I can't even speak, they're not the good team at all. When they play, they only keep it close at home. When they're away, they get blown out. I mean, they do. Pistons are fantastic at home. I get they just played. But I just don't see why they couldn't cover the 14.5 points. Give me the Pistons minus 14.5. I don't have to go too much in depth with this game like the last game I wanted to talk about why. I think the Pistons absolutely cover this game by 20 to 30. I think this is going to be a blowout win by the Pistons. Yeah, I don't see why we need to go any more into this. Let's go to the next game. For the third game today, we have the Chicago Bulls at Toronto Raptors. Um, the Bulls are out giddy, and they are not playing good. They're just not playing good right now. They just lost the past couple games. The Bulls are 24-27. They are 9-16 away, 2-game loss streak, and they're 5-5. The Raptors, on the other hand, are 30-22. They're 14-12 at home, 5-5 in their last 10 on a 1-game loss streak. The Bulls, though, my problem with the Bulls is that they're out giddy, making sure. They're also out. I can't say his name. They're out Trey Jones, and they have a lot of day to days. A lot of them. They have 5 of them to be exact. This team is broken apart and fallen apart. They just lost to the Bucks a lot today, which is why. And I had them beaten bad by the Heat. This Raptors team doesn't look bad. I think they can definitely win this game. I have the Raptors minus 8.5 here. That is my pick. The Chicago Bulls have just kind of fallen apart, and they just don't have that much to them. There's not that much depth. They have a lot of injuries right now, and I think this team is kind of a little down and out. You know what I mean? And I just don't think they're going to come back here. So I think the Raptors definitely can win this game by 8.5. Let's go to the next game. Okay, this game, I don't know. We have the Utah Jazz and Atlanta Hawks. I love picking the Hawks, as you guys know. The Hawks are 25-27. They are 9-14 at home because they're 16-13 away, but they're 9-14 home. They're 5-5 with a 1-game win streak. The Jazz, on the other hand, are 16-35. They're 6-18 away, 2-8 in their last 10 on a 1-game winning streak. They're 10-17 at home. They're a lot better at home. Most of these, no offense, lower end teams are way better at home. The Hawks aren't good at home though. This Hawk team, a lot of their home games have been really, really close games, and this Jazz team has kept a lot of its games close recently. Um, I know I'm crazy to say that I think that the Jazz have a couple injuries. I mean, if you're looking at their past couple games, they're losing by 7. They lost by 10 to the Nets. Um, excuse me, 16 to the Warriors, which is 13 to the Clippers. I mean, they're losing by a lot to these better teams, and the Hawks at home are just not that better of a team. Um, they beat the Pacers, which big surprise there, but it's at the Pacers. Um, they only lost at the Spurs by 13. They lost twice at the Mavericks, which isn't surprising. The Mavs are great at home. They won at the Cavs. I mean, this team isn't terrible. I'm taking the Jazz plus 10.5. I just think this Hawk team doesn't do very well at home. They've statistically not done well at home, and if they do win at home, it's not by a lot. Um, I don't know why that reasoning is, but it's just how it goes. They're also both teams are injured a lot. I mean, not like terrible, terrible, but both teams have some injuries. But their last couple games at home, they got blown out by the Rockets. The Pacers, they beat the Pacers, which it's the Pacers. They barely beat the Suns at home. They lost to the Bucks at home. They lost to the Celtics at home. Um, they barely beat the Pelicans at home. I guess the 17's not barely. Um, yeah, lost to the Knicks, lost to the Heat. Yeah, I don't see why the Jazz couldn't keep in this game close. I think it depends on how the injuries look out. I think it depends on how the Hawks show up today. Both of these teams are on lost streaks. I don't really think any game is gonna determine this, like any like comeback game or anything. I just think the Jazz can keep this game close. I think this game's gonna be closer than people think. I think a lot of people are gonna take Atlanta, but I think Jazz. I'm gonna be the silent majority here and think that the Jazz has a good chance in this game. I'm going to take the plus 10.5. I know that's crazy. I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree. If you guys do disagree, we can talk in the comments. I mean, if you guys let me know, I'm curious to hear what your guys' picks are too. But I really think this Jazz team can keep this game close. That's why I'm going to keep the Jazz plus 10.5. Let's go on to the next game. Before we go into this game, I want to say sorry if I'm talking too much of these. If you guys don't want to hear me rant on about my opinions on why I'm picking these games, let me know. I'm just trying to give you as much as I can of why I am choosing to predict these games because I want to give you as much in depth as possible because some of my videos are 6 minutes long and I am just telling you my prediction and you guys might not know why, but I want to give you this video, which is a try to tell you why I'm picking these games, going in depth and talking about what is going through my mind. Not necessarily everything if I look at defense and offense of some things, but going into much as I can. But I digress. Let's go into this next game, which is the Hornets at the Rockets. I'm going to surprise you with this. I love the Rockets at home, like I always say. But I did pick the Celtics yesterday, and today I'm going to pick the Hornets again. Give me the Hornets plus 3.5. Um, this Hornet team is absolutely on a tear. They are 23 and 28 in the year, which doesn't sound great. The thing is, though, they are on a 7-game win streak and 8-2 in their last 10. They are only 12 and 15 away, which does not look good, but they're on a 7-game win streak. This team is absolutely playing lights out. They're doing fantastic. The only other team on a higher win streak is the Knicks right now, which is on an 8-game win streak. The only other team that's just as funny is the Kings are on a 10-game lose streak, which is insane. Yeah, I don't see the Hornets getting a couple points here is great. The Rockets, the Hornets didn't play yesterday. The Rockets did. The Rockets did just get beat at home by the Celtics. I think they're a little beat up and tired. I think they're not on any rest. The Hornets are. The Hornets are just they're hot. They want to keep this hot streak, and I think they're going to play their hearts out. And I think the Rockets don't have that going on. I think they're just going to go out and play their game. They are still 17-5 at home, and they're on a 7-3 in the last 10. They're doing great. They're playing great. But I think the Hornets have that momentum. So I'm going to keep the Hornets plus 3.5 here. Let's go on to the next game. Okay, for this next game, we have the Spurs at the Mavericks. This game is probably my least favorite game of the day, and I'll tell you why. I'm very back and forth in this game. I need to tell you guys why, and this is the one game I'd probably avoid picking if I was you guys. Um, First of all, Harper's out for the Spurs. It's not too bad. They have a couple other small injuries. Um, the Mavs have a ton of injuries, a lot. They have a lot of day to days, and they have a couple that are just out. I'm not going to get into all of them. There's 5 day to days, and I think 4 that are just out. An injured Mavs team. I also think morale's a little low. Anyway, Spurs are 15 and 10 away. They're not as good away. They're 34 and 6 in the year, and they're on a 2-game win streak. They're 7 and 3 in the last 10. Mavericks though are 4 and 6 in the last 10 on a 5-game loss streak. 19 and 31 in the year, and they're 14 and 15 at home. This team is great at home. They've beat a lot of teams. They kept a lot of games close. So at first I was thinking about taking the plus 6.5, and then I thought, well, if they have all these injuries, they're not gonna care. Then the Spurs are just gonna walk in here. But also, I could see the Spurs coming into this game knowing that and going, this game's going to be super easy and underestimating them, and the Mavs try to prove something. So I don't like this game. I'm just going to, I know the odds are terrible. I'm going to take Spurs to win. Spurs money line. Give me the Spurs to win. Um, I think the Mavericks could keep it close. They're not going. I don't think the Mavs have a chance to win this game. I really don't. I think it could be closer than I think, but also 6.5 is. If it was 10, I'd take the 10. But I think 6.5 is too close. I'm going to take Spurs, just the money line there. This game feels like a trap, and I just want to avoid it. So I'm going to stick with the Spurs money line because I'm scared for the rest. Let's go on to the next game. This next game, we have the Golden State Warriors, the Phoenix Suns. Again, I don't like to pick this game because both teams are out their star player, and that could mean anything. But one thing I think will happen is the over 117.5. Both of these teams, their last couple games they've played, have definitely gone over this number. Not against the 76ers for the Warriors, but against the Jazz, against the Pistons, against the Timberwolves, against the Mavericks, against the Raptors, against the Heat, against the Hornets, against the Knicks. The number goes on and on and on, and the Suns have done the same thing. The Trailblazers, the Cavs, the Pistons, the Nets, they didn't. They didn't a couple. 76ers, they did. The Nets, they did again. The Knicks, they didn't. They're a little less of a scoring team, but the Warriors do score, and recently they have been too. Both of these teams score a lot, and I think 117.5 is a little too low. So I'm going to take this game. I don't like to predict it. If I wanted to, I was going to take the Suns, but the Suns are also out their star player, and both of those teams I think are not really going to care too much about this game. I think it's just going to go and be a score fest. That's my pick for this game. Let's go on to the next game. Okay, for this last game, we have the 76ers at Lakers. 76ers on the year are 29 and 21. They are 14 and 8 away, which is their actual better record. They have a better average away. 7 and 3 in the last 10 on a 5-game winning streak. The Lakers are 30 and 19. They are 12 and 8 at home, which is technically their worst record. They're 6 and 4 in their last 10 on a 1-game winning streak. The 76ers are getting points. It's the same thing with the Celtics as yesterday. I'm going to take the 76ers plus the plus 3.5. I love this. I love this pick. I don't see how this couldn't be an absolute a win. I think the 76ers can win this game very easily. That's going to be my little risky pick of the day is 76ers money line. But the plus 3.5 is some free points that I think the 76ers can win it at the Lakers. I just don't see why they couldn't. 76ers have been hot. Lakers, no one's really injured. The Lakers have been okay recently. They're only on 1-game win streak. They're 6 and 4 in the last 10, but 76ers on a 5-game winning streak. They're away, which is their better record, and the Lakers are home, which is their worst record. I think that this is definitely a 76ers plus 3.5 great play. So let's go to a quick recap. Okay, quick recap. We have Detroit Pistons minus 14.5, the Jazz plus 10.5, the Raptors minus 8.5, Hornets plus 3.5. We have the Spurs to win. We have over 117 in the Warriors game, over 213 for the Nets, maybe the Nets points. 76ers plus 2.5. My favorite bets today, if you had to pick a couple, if I did a smaller video, if I would have been 76ers plus the 3.5, and I would have taken the Hornets plus 3.5, and probably the Pistons minus 14.5. Those are my 3 favorite games. These are my picks for today. I want to give a video where I do all the games. I thought this would be exciting. I'm excited to make this video. I hope you guys liked the video. If you guys did like this video, consider leaving a like. Consider commenting what you think. I want your guys' opinions on what you think, what your games picks are. Let me know in the comments what you guys like. If you like some different picks than I have, over-unders and games I didn't touch, maybe some predictions for games that I didn't think about, let me know in the comments below. If you guys want to see more of me picking every game, let me know too. If you like all the content, consider subscribing. Stick around for baseball season. I'm a huge baseball fan, and I love predicting baseball. So that's what I'm really excited for. I got a lot of stuff planned for that. So that'll be exciting. Stick around for that. I appreciate all of you watching. Good luck today if you guys do use these predictions, and good luck to you if you don't. Enjoy watching those games. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.